A very good afternoon to you. This is TV Sapienza on Star Times Channel 260. Today is Tuesday, the 19th of August, 2025. My name is Joe Igbo. In our news headlines this afternoon, the Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborevwori has launched a widows' welfare scheme aimed at supporting 10,000 widows across the state with monthly stipends and free healthcare services. The All Progressives Congress APC candidate in the Anambra South Senatorial by-election, Azuka Okwuosa, has rejected the outcome of Saturday's polls in the state. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has ordered Nigerian public universities to finalize their 2025 admission processes by October 31, 2025. And the National Orientation Agency, NOAA, has commended the Imo State government for banning extravagant graduation parties for pupils in nursery, primary, and junior secondary schools in the state. Now the details of the news. The Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborevwori has launched a widows' welfare scheme aimed at supporting 10,000 widows across the state with monthly stipends and free healthcare services. Speaking at the flag-up ceremony in Asaba, Governor Oborevwori described widowhood as a painful circumstance that no one chooses, noting that widows often face neglect and survival challenges after losing their breadwinners. He said the scheme, which provides 15,000 naira monthly allowance to each widow, reflects his administration's commitment to inclusive governance. Governor Oborevwori said payments are to be made directly into beneficiaries' bank accounts, with the first tranche of 45,000 naira covering 3 months in arrears already disbursed. He said all beneficiaries are also enrolled in the Delta State Contributory Health Insurance Scheme, which guarantees free access to medical care in accredited hospitals and primary health care centers. Governor Oborevwori explained that the beneficiaries were selected through a transparent, community-driven process involving traditional rulers, community leaders, and civil society groups across the state's 270 wards. President Bola Tinubu has approved a subsidy plan that slashes the cost of kidney dialysis sessions from 50,000 naira to 12,000 naira. The special advisor to the president on policy communication, David Bola, made this known in a post on X. According to him, the 76% subsidy is already active in 10 federal medical centers and teaching hospitals across the 6 geopolitical zones. They are Federal Medical Center Ebute Metta Lagos, University College Hospital UCH Ibadan, University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital UMTH Maiduguri, and Lagos University Teaching Hospital LUT Lagos. Others are University of Benin Teaching Hospital UBTH Benin, University of Calabar Teaching Hospital UCTH Calabar, and Federal Medical Centers in Jabi, Abuja, Owerri, Abeokuta, and Azare. He said more hospitals will be added to the scheme before the end of the year to expand access nationwide. The Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, Brigadier General Olakunle Nafiu, has urged corps members to serve their fatherland with passion, loyalty, and a strong sense of nationalism. Nafiu made the remarks during his visit to the 2025 Batch B-1 corps members at the NYSC orientation camp in Afikpo, Ebonyi State. The DG also advised the corps members to respect the cultural practices of their host communities upon arrival at their places of primary assignment. In a statement by the NYSC Acting Director of Information and Public Relations, Caroline Mbu, the Director General emphasized that the service year should be diligently utilized as a period of investment that would yield long-term benefits and prevent future regrets. Nafiu urged the corps members to participate in post-camp training as part of the Skills Acquisition and Entrepreneurship Development Program, which is designed to make them financially empowered and self-employed. He also revealed that the scheme has partnered with several stakeholders who offer loans, business grants, and other incentives, such as free startup capital to qualified corps members. NYSC Ebonyi State Coordinator, Mrs. Foluke Oladeinde, noted that a total of 959 corps members comprising 474 males and 485 females, were registered and had been participating actively in all the camp activities. Oladeyinde also informed General Nafiu that the Ebonyi State Governor Francis Nwifuru had approved the construction of a new camp clinic, a female corps members hostel, staff quarters, and 3 boreholes, all of which were ongoing. The All Progressives Congress APC candidate in the Anambra South Senatorial by-election, Azuka Okwuosa, has rejected the outcome of Saturday's polls in the state. The by-election was held across 7 local government areas, including Agwata, Ekwusigo, Ihiala, Nnewi North, Nnewi South, Orumba North, and Orumba South. Okwuosa expressed dissatisfaction with the conduct of the polls at a news conference in Oraifite, Ekwusigo local government area of the state. He alleged widespread irregularities and electoral malpractice, claiming that the election was marred by rigging and manipulation. According to him, the polls lacked integrity, competence, neutrality, and moral standing, and should therefore be rejected outright. Okwuosa said the ruling All Progressives Grand Alliance (APGA) and government forces deployed state security, including Operation Udogachi, to create unfair advantage and compromise the process. The APC standard bearer alleged that despite police banning vigilante groups from election duty, they were present across polling units, harassing and intimidating voters. He also claimed that APGA colluded with some independent National Electoral Commission or INEC officials to sabotage the electoral process. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board (JAMB) has ordered Nigerian public universities to finalize their 2025 admission processes by October 31 this year. According to a schedule by the board, all private universities are also required to complete admissions by November 30, 2025, while all tertiary institutions in Nigeria, private or public, have until year's end. This is contained in a weekly bulletin released by the board yesterday. JAMB said the directives are in line with the schedule approved during the 2025 policy meeting shared by the Minister of Education. The board said the decision aims to stabilize the academic calendar and ensure equitable access to admission slots across the tertiary institutions. The directive also mandates institutions conducting post-UTME screenings to conclude these exercises promptly to comply with the 2025 admission schedule. The federal government has disbursed nearly 50 billion naira directly to primary health centers across the country through the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund. The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Pate, made the announcement. Pate, in a post on his official X handle, added that the administration of President Bola Tinubu has also released over 20 billion naira for the rehabilitation and upgrade of 4,362 primary healthcare centers, or PHCs, across the 19 northern states and the Federal Capital Territory. According to the minister, more than 37 million visits to PHCs were recorded nationwide in the first quarter of 2025 alone, reflecting what he described as a data-driven re-engineering of the country's healthcare delivery system. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has announced a strong start to the nationwide continuous voter registration exercise, revealing that 69,376 Nigerians completed online pre-registration within the first 7 hours of the portal going live. This is contained in a press release signed by its National Commissioner and Chairman of the Information and Voter Education Committee, Sam Olumekun. He said that out of the 69,376, 33,809 or 48.7% are male, while 35,573 or 51.3% are female. In terms of age, 48,033 or 69.2% are young persons aged between 18 and 34. Olumekun said the portal is available 24 hours every day of the week at cvr.inecnigeria.org. In addition to the digital option, INEC is set to begin in-person registration at its 811 state and local government offices nationwide, starting Monday, August 25, 2025. This option will be available from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on weekdays only. INEC reminded the public that registration is only open to Nigerian citizens who are at least 18 years old and have not registered before. The Commission clarified that interstate and intrastate transfers of voter registration, as well as the replacement of lost or damaged voter cards, are permissible under the CVR process, adding that double or multiple registration is a violation of the law. The National Orientation Agency, NOAA, has commended the Imo State government for banning extravagant graduation ceremonies for pupils in nursery, primary, and junior secondary schools in the state. The Director General of NOAA, Lanre Issa Onilu, in a statement by the Director of Communication and Media, Bala Musa, said the practice of organizing lavish graduation ceremonies encourages a culture of waste, unrealistic expectations of instant reward, and places unnecessary financial burden on parents. On the state's directive to school proprietors to stop the yearly change of textbooks, the NOAA boss noted that the measure would ease financial burdens on families and make education more affordable and accessible. Issa Onilu further commended the policy that permits graduation ceremonies only for pupils completing primary 6 and senior secondary school in line with Nigeria's 6334 education system. He urged other states to adopt similar measures, stressing that the move would create a more disciplined and value-driven educational environment. Recall that the Imo State government, through its Ministry of Education, announced a ban on graduation ceremonies for pupils in nursery, primary, and junior secondary schools. Commissioner for Education, Professor John Cliff Mwadike, explained that such ceremonies had strayed from their original purpose and were now characterized by unnecessary showmanship, expensive uniforms, and undue financial pressure on parents. The government further directed schools to stop the annual compulsory change of textbooks, a practice he said had become exploitative and burdensome to families. Instead, schools were asked to adopt uniform textbooks that could serve for at least 3 academic sessions. To end the Sapientia TV news at 1 p.m., a recap of the major headlines. The Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborevwori has launched a widows' welfare scheme aimed at supporting 10,000 widows across the state with monthly stipends and free healthcare services. The All Progressives Congress APC candidate in the Anambra South Senatorial by-election, Azuka Okwuosa, has rejected the outcome of Saturday's polls in the state. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has ordered Nigerian public universities to finalize their 2025 admission processes by October 31, 2025. And finally, the National Orientation Agency, NOAA, has commended the Imo State government for banning extravagant graduation parties for pupils in nursery, primary, and junior secondary schools. That was the Sapientia TV news at 1 p.m. On behalf of the editorial and technical crew, I am Joe Igbo. Good afternoon and thanks for choosing TV Sapientia.